Do you like fantasy romances with Fae? Would you be interested in one that's a little under 300 pages? If so, you should check out Shades of Power by Jenny Grimes. I gave this one 4 stars and 2 on the spice meter. What you can expect in this book is Fae, magic, light versus dark, why choose, and the underdog that nobody expects to rise above, rising above. So I did like this one, but it did start a little slow for me. But once it picked up, I was really hooked into the story. So I did enjoy the world building and the magic in this one. I did think it was complex, but it wasn't really overly complex. I do think this one would be good for somebody who's newer to the romantasy genre or somebody who doesn't really like the overly complex romantasies. So that's what I would really recommend for somebody who is really into, like I said, newer to the romantasy genre, or somebody who really struggles or just doesn't really like the more complex romantasies and stuff like that. I like either or, so it really wasn't a big deal for me. My favorite thing about this book, though, I do have to say, is the why choose aspect. We know I am a sucker for the why choose. This one definitely also has the enemies to lovers, and I am a sucker for the enemies to lovers trope. We know that. I think the biggest thing that I think you could take away with this one is I'm going to tell you, you really do need to check your trigger warnings. This one is not overly dark, but there is definitely enough dark themes. And again, with the light versus dark, there is a dark. There's a light fae where they do some good stuff, and where there is a dark fae, the bad guys, they are going to do some dark stuff. They're going to do some naughty stuff. And so you need to check your trigger warnings before you jump into this one, because they're going to do some stuff that's going to make you go, ooh. Yeah, so definitely check that one, because I don't want you to come and be like, hey, I took your book rack and it was not something that I was comfortable with. So I'm going to say right now, please check your trigger warnings. This is a good book, but I want you to make sure that you are comfortable reading it. I really just enjoyed the light versus dark. You got a lot of the friendship going on and developing that. And I already talked about the why choose and the enemies to lovers. We know I'm a sucker for that. So this book was a quick and easy read for me. I was able to pick it up and knock it out real quick. It's just one of those books that, you pick up, you enjoy, you read it, and that's just, it is what it is. And that's how I felt with this one. I really enjoyed it and I picked it up. So I'm going to give you a quick overview. This one is a fantasy romance. So let me tell you more about this book so you can decide whether you want to read it or not. Opal's life changes forever when a black magic beast attacks a human when her and her friends are in the human realm. Saving his life means taking him home with her, but things there are changing as well. Magic is a balance, and the balance is choosing. With some unexpected surprises, Opal is left facing a dark prince. Opal needs to stop a devastating attack, and this prince is not what she expected. This book was good, and it was a really easy read, but again, remember, it does have darker parts, so please check those trigger warnings. I liked this one, and I think you just might too.